Hi there, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. My name is Melanie and it's time to blitz your kits. This is a video that I try to do every other month in an attempt to use up my SCT Sampler Kits and a few other little ones that I have floating around. This bin was once full and I am down to this. So I am hoping, you know, with this month and maybe next year we can get through them all. I'm not sure which one I feel inspired to play with today, so let me flip through these and I'll be right back to show you what I'm going to blitz. Okay, so this is taking a little bit of a turn, and I don't think I've ever done this before, but nothing that says we can't switch things up. So this was a kit from January 2023. It primarily featured life captured from simple stories. Now, I've played with this one a lot. I've made a whole mini album with it, etc., etc. I don't want to play with it. I just don't find it very inspiring. So let's flip through that first, the little bits, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it. So this one had a lot of journal cards. I think this might even have been from a 6x8 pad instead of the normal 6x6. And it does feature like basically the idea was it represented the entire year. Super easy to make a mini album out of this, like a 6x8 album. And papers are totally usable, but you guys, I have so much stuff that I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to purge this. So these are the 4x6 cards, and they all have like the month date on there. Yeah, see? So, yeah. It also came with these like washi stickers, I guess, almost. They are paper, they're not washi, but from the sticker book. So I'm gonna purge all of that. There is a die that says lots of love, which I'm going to keep. We'll put that in my stash. And there's a stencil with a bunch of hearts, which I love, so I'm going to keep that. Can never have too many foam dimensionals, so we'll keep that too. This is just going to go in a bin to use up. In my use it up bin. What else do we got here? I'm going to throw this frame in there, and then I think these are the ephemera pieces from the same collection. And because it's a sampler kit, you only get little bits and pieces of it. So I think I'm going to throw that all in as well. And because I have a ton of enamel dots, we'll throw that in. Oh, what the heck. We'll throw these in too. There you go. Okay, so this is going to go in the declutter pile. Probably in the mystery box declutter pile. So this won't be a mystery, but I do have a mystery box that started full of various items. So I think that's where this is going to go. Okay, so I guess you could say I've blitzed a kit for this month, but that's kind of cheating. So let me see if I can pull another kit and let's use that one up. Okay, this is the SCT Sampler Kit from April 2023. It features Simple Stories Flea Market Collection. I also have a ton of this. I bought the collection and I won parts of it, and I used it in some classes. So I'm going to do the same thing with this. This is going to go back in the bag, and that is going to go in the giveaway pile. Other collection that was featured in here was from LDRS Creative One Fine a Day collection, and we'll talk about this in a minute. We'll go through the papers. So there is florals and a pink. This one says life is so very you. So it must be if you are hopeful. So this probably isn't going to be very useful unless I cut off parts of this. Backside's alright. We have a little critter, bunny and flowers. Got some strawberries, some words, and a multicolor, and then another floral. And then there are some ephemera pieces that came with this. I got a bunny, the word sweet, a flower piece, couple of strawberries, another little flower, and then this tag. So I think I can do something with these, at least I hope so. We also received a 4x6, I guess? No, this is a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 alcohol ink print. This is from Tailored Expressions, which is interesting. I guess if you like the look of mixed media but don't want to do it, this would be for you. And then we got a die that says Just a Note, and I also got a die that says Feel Better. Let me go and play with this and see what I come up with. And I'm back. A little bit later, recovering from a cold, unfortunately, and so I didn't get as much done as I had hoped. I actually was planning to do a third kit because I felt, I kind of cheated this month, but the cold has driven otherwise, not to mention the fact that, I'm having sound technical difficulties and all that good stuff. So anyways, here's my attempt at doing a voiceover. I was just showing you that I had picked 2 kits, and this is half of the second kit. All I had left of the kit was this small piece of scrap, which is going to go in my scrap bin. I did manage to use Just a Note, so that's always fun when I manage to use up one of the tools. I also pulled in this honeybee stamp, color layering strawberries, I think, something like that. And I made a few cards. So this first card here, this top piece of cardstock is actually some packaging from a Minte collection. I just had it sitting on my desk and I thought it went perfect with the paper. The colors just matched really well. And maybe that's why I have this last piece of scrap left. Who knows? The piece of paper had the scallop already printed on it, so I just kind of cut that out and layered it on the top, added a small embellishment. For these next 2, I was pulling off of the pattern paper, namely the navy blue leaves and strawberries, and tried to replicate that with the die. The blues were a little bit off. I probably should have used like Stampin' Up! Not Quite Navy instead of Concord and Ninth. I don't know what color it was now. It was one of their navy colors. I thought it was dark enough. And to be honest, I didn't really notice the color was off until I went to go put the card together, and I wasn't going to go back and adjust it. I did use the pattern paper to cut out. You can see here that the white flowers have some little dots on them, and that's because the pattern paper had dots. And I just applied some ink over top to shade it to a creamy color. The strawberries, you can see the little pink teardrops on there. Again, that was just the pattern paper the way it was. I used some a gold pen to kind of color in the seeds impressions left from the die for the strawberries. I used the tan off-base cardstock to mimic the flower. This one here was that piece of paper that had that incomplete saying in the middle, and I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do it. I cut it out and made like a scalloped card, and I just kind of free-handed the scallop with like a bowl. The bunny I thought was super cute and reminded me of a baby, and then combined with the word sweet, that just made sense to turn this into a baby card. The little ruffle around his neck is actually technically a flower, but I thought it fit and went really well. And there was one small piece of scrap, so I added that at the bottom. And I used a paper piercer to kind of make this border along the edge, and I think this card turned out pretty cute. This one, this piece of paper had bunnies in the middle. There was only one full image of a bunny, which I cut out. And in this piece of the 6x6 paper, I layered it over top of where the other bunny ears were because it looked kind of weird. So that's why the bunny is where it is. I think it turned out pretty good. And I used some alpha stickers from Pebbles to type the word hi. Technically the H is an N, but I think I can get away with it. Trying to get the most out of those alpha stickers. You know how it is when you get to the end of a package. And this one, I took the other half of the 6x6 paper from the previous card, fussy cut it out the flowers. I used an embellishment,
I used an embellishment from the ephemera pack, and pretty much that was it. I still had some scraps left over, so I made a card base. To be honest, I didn't feel like making another strawberry card, and I didn't have a focal point. So yeah, a base card it is. And the last card is that alcohol inked image from Tailored Expression. I used the Just a Note die, and I actually used the solid die because it's a two-piece die. There's like a solid piece that does the actual words, and then there is a shadow. So yeah, so this is the solid piece that I cut out first from the panel, and then after that was cut out, I then cut out the shadow piece. It just required a little bit of lining up and taping to get it to be right. I did cut out Just a Note a couple times to foam mount it, like not foam mount it, but to give it some dimension. I didn't glue it in quite straight, but you know what? It's still a cute card. So that is what I made with this month's kits, I guess. So not too bad considering I only used half a kit, right? So yeah, it is what it is. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Stay tuned for next year. I will continue to blitz more kits. And until then, happy crafting.